What's going on, guys? I'm back, baby. Another episode of the podcast. All right. So, had a little, took some time off here from recording the podcast. I was still, very active on social media with my Instagram primarily. Reason I had some time off from at least the podcast is, number one, I was dealing with a minor back injury. No excuse to why I wasn't able to record. I was able to record, but it was very painful, and I had to focus on recovery and, just other things going on in life in the process. So now I'm back after, maybe a couple weeks of time off here. I'm back in the gym, took some time again to recover. Took the last week, this past week, to slowly work back into the gym. When it comes to injury, you have to make sure you're listening to your body, even though my back felt better, I knew if I picked up a bunch of weight and, threw some weight around, I was it was just a high risk of re-injuring my back, and I wasn't about to do that. So this past week, as far as, my workouts were concerned, I was focusing on a lot of lightweight and high rep workouts. So a lot of volume, which helped. It helped at least. It helped me maintain what muscle mass I do have at this current point in time. So it was good. It was good to get back in there. I don't feel that I'm at 100% yet. I'm probably more like at a good 80 or 90%. Because it's not like it hurts, but I know, I know I can kind of feel it, when I'm doing squats or deadlifts, the strength, and it's just not all the way there yet. So still working my way back, but I'm glad to finally get my ass back on this podcast and speak to the world. So yeah, today I just wanted to speak a little bit about the dieting and nutrition part of fitness. I wanted to, and this is something I've posted on my social media about, just, brief little post, about clean eating and flexible dieting. There's a lot of misconceptions about flexible dieting. Some people that I've known that use flexible dieting use it as a way to use it as an excuse to really eat whatever the hell they want. And that's not how it's supposed to work. The two are very similar. Like with clean eating, it's the typical approach. It's the classic approach to getting healthier and, fitness in general. These days, I feel that clean eating is really the approach for, and I'm not saying, it's just not for everyone. And it's a more rigid approach. It's a very strict approach to a healthier and more fit lifestyle. It's essentially not allowing yourself to eat any, junk food, any processed foods, not really getting to eat out too much, things of that nature. It's a typical, you see people eating, chicken and broccoli and rice, or, chicken and broccoli, or eating a damn salad all the time, and not having too many options. That's what I enjoy about the flip side with flexible dieting, is that it gives you options. Flexible dieting is an approach where, for me, I my approach to flexible dieting is that I still track my calories and my macronutrients. So I track my calories, my carbohydrates, my protein, and my fat. And I'm able to use those numbers to tweak around my meals, I use it to adjust and replace certain meals. So, I might have chicken and rice and some sort of vegetables twice a day. But as far as breakfast is concerned, I love my eggs and my turkey bacon every single morning. It's just the way I do breakfast. But I also, I don't eat just straight oatmeal. I eat those flavored oatmeal packages, I have at least one a day, and I do mix in some instant oats with it if necessary to help up the amount of carbs I'm taking in the morning. And it is, it's worked for me. And hell, if I wanted to, I can switch that out for rice if I wanted to. With flexible dieting, it just gives you, in my opinion, it gives you an easier approach to a healthier lifestyle. It allows you not to, it gives you options. That way it lowers the risk for regression. Because with clean eating and most popular diets, it's so damn strict that, say your diet lasts for, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, let's do 4 months. By the time that time frame is up, you're so done with that kind of food and you're so happy with the fact that you completed it that then you fall back the other way around. It's a higher risk of going, well, shit, I'm done with my diet. I did well. So now I'm going to fucking hit up, a 12-piece at KFC and demolish that son of a bitch. Go get some donuts in the morning, shit like that. And to me, it just gives you, it doesn't necessarily approach a lifestyle change. And there are some people out there, don't get me wrong, there are some people out there that's the way to go, There are some people out there where clean eating is the way to go, and it's easy for them, There are a lot of people that just stick to, the brown rice and the sweet potatoes and the chicken breasts and, the fish, and they don't do much with the foods, they keep their sodium at a very, very low amount. Like keto, for example, we just give up carbs. Like keto, that's a good example of something that may not work for most as far as a lifestyle change. To give up carbs for fucking ever is crazy to me. It's wild. It's a wild thought. I'm not saying it's a bad diet, because you can do it for a short period of time and allow it, it'll do good for you. But it's not a lifestyle change. It's not something I would recommend to clients in that sense. When people want to get healthier and people want to lose weight and, get healthy, I approach it more of an adjustment to what they're already doing. Instead of eating certain things when they go out, it just, when you go somewhere, it's a big menu when you go most places. It just minimizes the menu for you to the choices that will benefit your body and your health. Instead of having a big ass burger, which you can have from time to time, but if you're somebody that goes out to eat a lot, instead of having a big ass burger, have yourself a chicken sandwich. And again, it's for me, it's a little difficult to explain for me, because it's an approach, it's a mindset for me, and it's getting the knowledge and approaching your life and your choices a certain way Again, it's a lot easier for me because I track my macros, right? So if if I've already had most of my carbs and I'm just short on protein for the day, I don't mind having some Halo Top ice cream. I don't mind, digging in the fridge for something a little bit more enjoyable to get that protein intake up to the level I want it to be. And it just gives people choices, and I don't want to, when I advise people on what to eat and whatnot, I try my best to allow them to make the decisions, as long as, it's also, a lot of people know it as the if it fits your macros approach. But be careful of that, because when people are trying to gain weight, for example, gain lean mass, and, you're trying to hit a certain weight, and I tell you should consume 300 grams of carbohydrates, in one day. That doesn't mean you go inhale a bunch of sugary shit, That doesn't mean go have a whole freaking package of Oreos and then, no. Hell no. It doesn't work that way. So it's still a similar approach to clean eating, because you still have to be wary of what you eat and what you're consuming. But it allows you to have options. Like, for most of the work week, for example, for myself, most of the work week, I have I have my standard breakfast. I eat 2 whole eggs, 3 egg whites, 2 pieces of turkey bacon, and some oatmeal. And the amount of oatmeal kind of varies for me, depending on how I want to spread out, my carbs for the day. So, breakfast, I'll have a snack in between breakfast and lunch, which is typically, and my work day is a little, my schedule and my work day is a little different than most, because I start with breakfast before most people are even awake. So I have my breakfast. When I get to work, I have a snack. I get to work about 7:30ish, so come 8:30, I'll have a snack, typically a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a cup of yogurt. There's this shit at Kroger that you can get, wherever you are in the country here, or wherever you shop. There are healthier options as far as shit like that goes, because the yogurt that I eat, it's called Carb Master, right, from Kroger. It's a Kroger brand, and you get 9 grams of protein for a small cup. They're only 40 cents a cup as well, so it's efficient on money, and it doesn't have, I think it might have like a half a gram of sugar or a gram of sugar, if that. I'm just guessing here. I don't have anything in front of me to make sure, to double check, and it has, I think, 1.5 grams of fat. So I have that with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I like creamy peanut butter for sure. I always use whole wheat bread. I did find some protein bread by, I think, Nature's Own is the brand. It's the Life brand they have. It's protein bread, which is kind of awesome, because it's, I believe, 8 or 9 grams of protein per slice. So, you can, get your macros in, but, I use different types of bread as long as it's whole wheat. Need to make sure those carbs are slow digesting. That way, my energy lasts throughout the day. As far as the jelly portion, I use strawberry preserves, which isn't, and that's what I mean. It's not the typical clean eating approach, but, it tastes good, and it's not like I overload that shit with jelly. So, it helps me. It helps satisfy my sweet tooth for sure. And then after that, I have with my schedule, with breaks and lunches and whatnot at my job,